Today's topic is trust. And one of the biggest things about trust that I know that we all are having a problem with is not understanding the root of it or the purpose of trust. Everybody hears this coming up, growing up. If you ain't got trust, you don't have anything. You have people writing songs about trust and wanting people to believe in trust over the acceptance of another human being. And what I mean by that is, if you have anybody that you are in a relationship with, whether it be your siblings, your mother, your father, your grandparents, you're always dealing with decision making and issues of your life and their life. What I want to get into is to make sure that people understand that trust is actually more of a decision making process or a decision making entity in your life more so than anything else. Even when the Lord asks you to trust in Him with all your heart, lean not to your own understanding, He directs your path. It's about decision making. I mean, if you don't get it right now, before the end of this message or this spiritual moment with Levon, you will understand it on a whole nother level, that trust is simply about decision making. I make that known, and I will make it understood like this. When we have our trust issues, it's normally, or what we say we no longer trust a person, it's normally about a decision that we made. That decision that we made into going into business with them, that decision that we made into entering a relationship with them. It's still about decision making. Trust should be looked at like that, because the ultimate battle is that you end up making smarter, more wiser choices. And that's why the Lord said, trust in Him with all your heart. If trust was something that we were supposed to give only to God, and He has a verse that says, cursed is the man that trusts in man, then He knows something about trust that we don't understand, or we have been misled into believe that it was something else. So the reality behind trust is this: if you say you're going to give somebody trust, or your trust, and they're going to give you theirs, the only problem to that is trust was about decision making. So literally what you're doing is you're giving them the power of decision in your life. So let's say if you go into a relationship saying, okay, I want that person to trust me, and I want to be able to trust that person. What are you saying? Are you saying that this person you do not want to ever be hurt by, disappointed by, or let down? And most people know that when they're talking about trust, they're talking about whether or not the person is going to mess around on them, infidelity of some sort. Is the person going to hurt you or disappoint? I tell anybody today in any coaching session, that yes, you're going to get disappointed. Yes, the person is going to hurt you some kind of way, your feelings. You're going to get disappointed in some kind of way. And there will be decisions that y'all don't agree on. So to set up someone to say, I want to be able to trust you, is really something that you are guaranteeing some form of failure in that area for your own self. Because if you believe in God, or whether you don't. This is one of them spiritual laws that doesn't take your belief for it to be real. If he said, curse is the man that trusts in man, and the word curse means divine order of punishment, then the actual punishment is your disappointment. The actual punishment is your hurt from what another person did or didn't do by their own nature that you felt like they shouldn't have done. But had you had the idea or the concept or not trusting, then all that was left was accepting. Accepting a person just as they are and what they show you is actually the only way to make better choices of who and how far you allow a person into your life. So if I accepted a person to be a liar from the beginning, no judgment on their life, just understanding that this person will lie, I can still move forward with them in a friendship. But I know that trusting them is not something that I should do as far as a decision for me. The decision would be, I can still be their friend, I can even go any further with them, but I would know, I accept that they will lie. Now, the point would be, most people will have the rebuttal to say, well, I don't believe in that. It's the trust, you gotta have trust. And they don't even know why they're saying that, except the fact that we've been taught that we're supposed to have it so long. That's their favorite rebuttal. But the whole point is, we can go back in their lives and review it, put everything on rewind, and prove how many times that they have put their trust in people and expected that trust, how many times they have been disappointed. It's each and every time. Each and every time the trust has come back to them to say, that did not happen the way I trusted to happen. And it was supposed to happen like that because we have not been taught this correctly. And the Spiritual Moments with LaVon is about correcting the teaching. The teaching so that you can live on this level. Maya Angelou said it best. If someone shows you who they are, believe them. The only thing that needed to be added to that is to believe them is to change your way of making decisions about where is the next level to go to with this person. If the person is showing you just who they are, don't take the essence of trust from God and put it on to this person, and then you find out that they were not trustworthy. You finding that out was actually your blessing, not your curse. The curse was the hurt, because you were not supposed to give that person that trust. You were supposed to give them the acceptance. I have a saying that we will hear on a regular basis in any of these spiritual moments, but one of the things that needs to hit home with everybody is, it's a lot of things in our lives that we live the truth, but we believe the lie. We live the truth that people do not have the ability to have that trust where nothing is going to go wrong. Nothing is going to disappoint you. You don't have that. None of us have that. We're human. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to do things wrong. We're going to hurt each other. We're going to disappoint each other. That's the acceptance. And that acceptance is the only thing that activates love when it's needed. So if I do hurt you, if you accept me that that's something that will happen, your forgiveness level will be on point. It'll be ready for that. But if I put trust before that and say, I trusted you never to do that to me, then your unforgiveness is the first thing that reacts. And your unforgiveness is actually the trap. So in the essence of trust, if we start looking at it as a thing of what it was supposed to be, it was supposed to be a point of making better decisions, then you look at it, well, and you can tell any other person the same thing. If I put my trust in the Lord, as he asks, lean not to my own understanding. Understand what he's saying. Don't lean to your own understanding. Your own understanding of how man has taught you over the generations and generations, passed down, to the point where now we just believe that we're supposed to trust each other, despite all the hurt that this trust has caused. And if you know anything about the scriptures on love in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, one of them says, love keeps no record of wrong done to it. But if you have trust issues that have been broken, now you have been tricked into the word distrust. And all distrust means is I keep a record of wrong done to me. So you literally got trapped into unforgiveness and you didn't even know it. And that's the worst place to be, because you can't be forgiven. So the real thing that we should be trying to promote is live the truth and no longer believe the lie. The lie says that we're supposed to trust one another. I'm telling you that we are supposed to accept one another. And then we make better decisions. I know it would be a whole lot more people making better decisions if they went into relationships of any sort, business-wise or personal. And you would see that if I went in knowing that this person cannot and does not have the ability to go on without disappointing me, without hurting me, or if I see what's real in their lives to be them, something that I cannot try to trust to change once I get with them, then you'll have less and less cycles of relationship problems, reoccurring issues, rebound relationships, going in again on the same, you see the same things that you saw in the last one. You wouldn't have to deal with that much. You'll go in saying that, hey, this person is who they are. I can deal with that or deal with that. I can't deal with that. So now I get to make a better decision for myself and not even be concerned about how they feel about it. Because it's your life. And anytime that you give something that was only supposed to be given unto the Lord or your Father or your whatever you call, then the results basically is your fault. Because the spiritual laws don't change for anybody. They don't need your belief. They don't need your okay or disapproval. They work automatically. And today's topic is trust. Trust in no man is real. It's been written before any of us have been here or came here. But it has been the opposite teaching that has been making us move forward on a continuous basis. And people know that they are in situations right now because they trusted. Very negative situations because they trusted. And when you have a person that continues to come up with more and more reasons why you should be able to trust, then they are only looking out for themselves and want more conditions to be different by controlling, not by accepting. And those situations will just continue to be the same. Trust only belongs to your Father, your Heavenly Father. It's only supposed to be given to them. It's not supposed to be given to another human being. For the sake of your safety, for the sake of you making great choices. If we apt to do this, like he said, trust in him with all your heart, Lean not to your own understanding. See, if you trust in him with all your heart, you wouldn't have the ability to trust no one else, because he asked for all of it. So that means that he got every other part of your life covered, like who you should marry, who you should be with, who you should go into business with, what job you should take, where you should move, how you should handle your finances, all of that. When he said all, he wants that for real. So all the things that we're experiencing outside of that all is because we have taken the bits and pieces of that trust and tried to give them to other people. And we thought that was right because we got so many supporters of that. If you put this in front of somebody that want to continue to trust, they're gonna argue me down. They're gonna cast me out. They're gonna say I'm foolish and I'm trying to be too deep and talking all that. But the proof would be still in the pudding, that you live the truth, but you believe the lie. The lie is that I'm supposed to be able to trust. But the truth is you can't, because things continue to happen. But you are and can be the type of person that trusts in the Lord with all your heart, that you do not lean to your own understanding. Your own understanding is influenced by other people's understanding. And that's why we can get so many people to agree with the opposite of what I'm saying, that we're supposed to have trust. We got songs about it. We got people singing the songs saying, you can trust me. I'll never hurt you. I'll never leave you. Yes, you will. And then you got supporters of and against what I'm saying. So if you took a moment and lean not to your own understanding, even in what I'm saying today, you'll get to the next part of that promise is, I will direct your path. The path and everything. And you'll see a totally different way of thinking and the outcome. But when you just categorize it all in an area that is still old to you, it's still traditional teaching, it's still something that people can continue on believing even though they still get the same results, it's going to be hard to break. But I'm here, LeVon Holman. I'm a certified life coach, to help you have a spiritual moment, to make sure that you take that moment, meditate on it whenever you can. It won't leave you. It'll continue to be in your heart, because what I'm saying is real for your spirit. It will stick with your spirit, and you will wrestle with it yourself privately, just as I did. You'll wrestle with it privately, and then you'll have conversations with other people, and those other people if they hadn't heard it, they're gonna look at you like, what are you talking about? This is not one of the messages that you try to go and teach somebody. It's one of those messages that you live privately, that you see and say, well, this is actually what happens when I do look for trust in other people. This is actually what continues to go on. I live it, I see it, I know the truth now. I just didn't have nobody to help me to pinpoint it on how it was supposed to be done. Trust belongs only to your Heavenly Father, your God, your supreme being, your higher power. Trust goes to them. Then he helps to help you make better decisions. Trust to another human being is said to, in the Bible, Jeremiah 17, verse 5. Cursed is the man that trusts in man. The word curse means divine order of punishment. So if you feel like some type of punishment came upon you after you've given your trust to another human being, I agree with you. But it can actually be reversed immediately by obeying and trust in him with all your heart. Remember, if all your heart is trusting in him, you can't give it to nobody else anyway. So, trust overall is about decision making. It's not about the fantasy of giving somebody this or they're giving it to you with the promise that they're never gonna hurt you or disappoint you or leave you. You have been listening to Spiritual Moments with LaVon. And if I am helping you in any kind of way, support us, subscribe, and spread the word. Thank you.